The Uganda we want. So mu Uganda gye twagala mu lutalo luno olw'okulwanyisa obulabbayo obukenuzi nze kyempita obuvundu. Munna Uganda alina okuba nga yeenyigiramu.
Ffenna twenyigire mu lutalo.
Ate abalala tebasomye kuzimba wabula bayize okuzimba.
Uganda gye twagala okulaba ng'enguudo zonna nkole nungi, public transport nga weeri.
Kati eno gavumenti eriwo erina akabonero ka Lucifer. Buli kyotunulako mu Uganda kiriko oxygen. Either babika amawulire malungi oba mawulire mabi. Minisita teyeetaagisa kabangali budde buno zaaki.
At this time, why should somebody import furniture from outside Uganda? Let us leave NRM to be in charge for another 36 years or more.
I really want to see a Uganda that believes in the rule of law. If you have a constitution in place, follow it to the letter. Don't change laws just because you want them to favor you.
Kuba njagala omanye nti obugagga bwonna Uganda bwe yeeyagaliramu buyita waffe ku ttaka lyaffe. Naye busoga mugidibaze.
How can a referral hospital refer you to a private clinic? The Uganda we want buli muntu ateekwa okumanya nti I am a stakeholder, nkwatibwako si kwesuulirayo gwa naggamba.
Uganda oyinza okukakana nga mwe mulina ba graduates aba university nga bangi okusinga ebungereza. Mwe mufokasinga nnyo ku degree. Eri bo bafokasinga nnyo nti byensomye mbijeemu omulimu n'enkola.
We are dreaming of a Uganda where at a young age there is such a relationship between parent and son, parent and daughter, where the daughter can say this is what I want.
Uganda gye twagala empya tesobola kubeerawo nga tewali mateeka. Amateeka agakola.
The Uganda we want. Welcome to the program, The Uganda We Want. My name is Malanzi. I'm so happy to be back with this episode of The Uganda We Want. And in this program, we believe that the people that we bring to you, they do share their ideas on the kind of Uganda that they envision, but they don't stop there. They as well travel with us. They fly with us on the how we can achieve that kind of Uganda that you and I envision. And today in our program, I'm honored to host Dr. Werikhe Wanzala'S Gerald. He's with us in the studio and he's going to share with us the kind of Uganda that he really wants to see. You and I, we don't know, but since he's here, he's going to let us know which kind of Uganda he envisions. That I want to, before he speaks to us, I want to encourage you to follow our YouTube channel, The Uganda We Want. Yeah, we've hosted a number of people, a number of Ugandans who have shared their perspective on the Uganda that they want to see. Just go there, subscribe and watch, and I believe you'll be impacted by some of the views. And actually, as we believe here that you as a Ugandan, you have a role as well to play if we are to achieve the Uganda that we want. So not only for those who are in leadership, even you, a Ugandan who is being led, you can do something to see that we all live in a Uganda that we want. But as well, we have social media platforms like YouTube channel for Dream TV and BTV and Impact FM. Go there, check out on our social media, on our YouTube channels, as well on X, we are there, on Instagram, on Facebook, and you know the one that is trending now, the TikTok. Yeah, where people tick and talk. They just tick and talk. Please go there, find us on TikTok, BTV, National Uganda, Dream TV Uganda, The Uganda We Want. We'll be able to hear some of the views and interact with some of your folks who are there, who are as well, look at this thing as a very big thing, as in when we talk about the Uganda we want. And I think this is beyond a new Uganda. I think you've ever heard of there are people who are, transporting a new Uganda to us. But for us, we are saying, no, there is a Uganda that we want. Doctor, thank you for sparing time to come and share with us the Uganda that you want to see. Abatulaba bwe munaawulira nga tukyusizaamuko ne mu lulimi Oluganda tekibakola bubi, naye twagala obubaka butuuke eri mwenna 45,000,000 okusinziira kwasinga okubala mu Uganda bwe yatugamba. Kati n'olwekyo tuyinza okukozesa ennimi bbiri, Olungereza n'Oluganda, naye Dr. Njamuleka ye kyawuliramu emirembe mwajja okubanga olulimi lwajja okubanga akozesa. Coming back to you, Doctor, I want to invite you to greet our viewers, and if possible, please let us know briefly who is Dr. Gerald Werikhe Wanzala, because before you were not born as a doctor. You might have, read some books and or done something. Or probably some people are like, okay, let us honor him with this doctorate title. Over to you, Doctor.
Yeah, thank you very much, and good evening, our viewers. It's a pleasure being here on the Dream TV. It's our TV, and thank you for the opportunity to educate Ugandans. Of course, I thank Pastor Serwada for making this contribution towards the advancement of our country. It's really an honor to talk to the people of Uganda through this platform. You said I should say something about, I went to school in Tororo and did my A-level in Mbale. I've lived in different places.
When you say Tororo, I see Jagenda, because
oh yeah. Jagenda Semakula was my hobby in Tororo. We were in the Scouts.
He's a very good ambassador, and his name is Ambassador.
Yes.
His name is titled well. He is Ambassador. We call him Ambassador Jagenda.
Yes.
He's been a good ambassador of Tororo.
Tororo, yeah. Everywhere where he went, be it in the Scouts movement.
Yeah.
Our first time at Kazi National Camping Ground, moving together.
Oh, right here to Busawara?
Yes, yes. I think that was the 1996 Campori. We came and attended together. The journeys we faced on the way. And we were also known MDD people in Tororo as students, especially in primary schools.
With Jagenda?
Yeah, sure.
Jagenda could sing.
Oh,
no.
Well. And acting.
No, Doctor, no.
Singing, drama,
I bet that.
He was in everything. I can assure you, maybe he was the media guy in the making at the time. So I was
because when I hear him speak, I'm now imagining, because he's my mentor anyway in media, he's my media mentor and a brother and a comrade. But when you say he was good in MDD, I'm like, with his voice, really? Jagenda singing?
We did. There is always an illusion that good artists are only those who sing in soprano, alto, but even those who do bass.
Yeah, there is one we know, of course, he's the grandfather of the country. Yes. He also has a song. Yes. He has Yengoma, ta-ta-ta-ta.
That's the best example. It shows that if he had not been president of Uganda, then there's another talent that was waiting for him somewhere.
Oh. Wow.
I went to Makerere University, and then in 2011, I got the opportunity to study in the People's Republic of China.
Okay.
Through a scholarship I competed for at the Ministry of Education. And I managed to become one of the winners. And I went to China, did PhD and masters. Then after masters, again I was one of the best international students in the province, Liaoning province in northeast China. And the government of Liaoning, the governor paid for my PhD.
Oh, wow. Wonderful.
Yes, I've done some studies in East Africa, especially on logistics, transportation logistics. But in terms of profession, I'm a civil society actor. I started my career as an intern at the Africa Leadership Institute, which was founded by Honorable Pulukola and his colleagues. And through that, I participated in the disarmament in Karamoja from the civilian side. At that time, the disarmament was forceful. The UPDF was being accused of human rights violations in disarmament, of indiscriminately shooting. So we said at the time, with the experience of Mr. Plukol, that can't we play a role from the civilian side? One, develop a human rights code of conduct to train the UPDF on human rights in armed conflict. So that we did it with the support from the European Union, and eventually were able to build trust between the UPDF and the warriors, bringing them together and conducting peace dialogues where we could slaughter even a bull, and then the warriors and the army share the meat.
Wow.
That was a good confidence building measure, which led to speed in terms of disarmament. So that process, we also found that in disarmament, women and children suffer a lot. So nobody was caring about children going to school, about mothers who are pregnant, accessing the health centers that were very far. So within the project, we integrated supporting pregnant mothers to go for antenatal by providing them with some lunch and transport, and then having children go in special schools for them to access basic education. So after that, I got the opportunity in the same institution to work in the pilot parliamentary performance scorecard project. With this, we were evaluating the performance of MPs on an annual basis. We partnered with Columbia and the Stanford universities of US, undertaking research in Parliament and producing periodic reports. We did studies on Constituency Development Fund, and I have also participated in formulating the Citizens Manifesto initiative, that at every election cycle, the citizens generate what they present to the elected leaders to become part of the agenda for the next 5 years. So I was one of those who piloted it in Masindi before it was operationalized by the National NGO Forum. I have supported various ventures with the Inspectorate of Government, studies on anti-corruption, and developing training materials on anti-corruption for the NGOs. We have also worked on refugees, still under the Africa Leadership Institute in Yumbe, supporting, as we saw the number of refugees pouring.
That is in the West Nile.
In the West Nile, we had to say, look, who is working on the HIV aspect? Because when people are crowded, majority are young, then a refugee settlement can become a serious point for transmission of HIV. So we developed a program supporting that. And I have done many other. I'm also an associate lecturer at Uganda Management Institute in the School of Management Sciences. So you can say I'm a civil site actor, I'm a teacher, but I also use my other talent to communicate through platforms like this.
Somewhere else, as I was trying to also do a background check on you, it seems you as well analyze the politics of the world and the country. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
Okay.
You see, contrary to what many people think, they think that politics is when you go into partisan politics, contest, fight the way we are seeing. But man is born a political animal. And politics is an art and science.
Are you endorsing what Dr. Sorry to cut you short, you'll give us that, but I'm reminded of what Dr. Kizza Besigye said, once said. He said, everyone is a politician.
Exactly.
And what you're saying, you're endorsing his quote.
Absolutely.
Please continue with what you're trying to bring up.
Because Nelson Mandela defines politics as an art and science of management of society. I don't want to define politics as politics is that by description. Politics is that game. Politics is an art and science of managing of society. You are going to manage people. You are going to manage resources. You are going to manage lives. So that's why I don't take it casual. And then there is a French scholar who described it who said that politics is so serious a matter that it should not be left to politicians alone. Yes,
good one. Good one there.
exactly.
Yeah.
Because they determine whether we are going to have roads or not. They determine whether our hospitals are going to have drugs or not. They determine whether we are going to allow an economy to produce only alcohol, drugs, and destroy people. The politicians determine that. So that is how I look at politics.
Okay. Okay. I say, well, in line with politics, and before I forget, I know you will get time to talk more about the politics of Uganda, East Africa, Africa, and the world. But before that, did Mr. Jagenda lure you into UPC? Because if you were friends, I want it to be on record if you survived his tactics and strategy of pulling you into UPC, because he's a very UPC man.
Yes. When we were growing up,
Yeah.
we had some attachment to UPC in Tororo. But particularly me, my journey at the time comes from my family. My father, when I was very young, was the head of customs in Malaba as a child. And I used to see him host UPC politicians in our house. So when I grew up, I started to read. And we grew up at the time when UPC, Dr. Bote were all demonized, as people who committed a lot of atrocities. So I picked the courage to say, let me go and research. Maybe there's something better that was so. Naturally, when I got into university politics in Makerere, I joined the Uganda People's Congress and I became the General Secretary of the branch. And so I effectively participated in challenging the single party system, which we were calling the movement system. But you remember the court, the Constitutional Court described it as a one-party system, because they said the movement is behaving like a duck, it walks like a duck, it croaks like a duck, and therefore it is a duck. They said if you have a party secretariat, you hold national conferences, you do delegates conference, and you are behaving like a party, and therefore you're a political party. And therefore, by being a political party, you are denying other people from associating. So I was part of that. But along the way, I moved away from partisan politics. I moved away from partisan politics because as the context changes, sometimes politics becoming a non-issue driven activity, because I want to look at politics where people are offering solutions, where there are ideological differences, where you make a distinction that if I come to power tomorrow, then my program is going to be different from the NRM in this way. I was not seeing it. And I also saw a situation emerging where political parties that are supposed to be people-owned are owned by individuals, that decisions that are taken do not involve organs of political parties. So I said I can make a contribution, but while I am outside partisan politics.
So
this is what I'm
doing. Is there any role right now? Because some of the UPC people are also very concerned, and you know very well what is happening to some of our political parties ever since we came into this multi-party dispensationalism. You see how parties that are trying to compete with the ruling party, they are dividing themselves into 2, into 3, into 4. And we hope some will even divide into 5 or 6. Is there any role that you're playing to, you may not be part of the UPC, kind of, active and so on, but do you have any role you're playing to see that, again, even UPC doesn't become FDC, doesn't become DP? And nope.
Well, I have been approached by various actors to find a way from people perceived to be neutral to intervene in some cases.
Yeah.
But I don't want to expressly tell the country that at the moment much has been achieved. But if there is that opportunity for me to bring different parties together, I would do it. I would try and make attempts, do it. And I will urge actors to try to see that they come together, because political parties are vehicles for development. They produce leadership. They are vehicles for us to practice and get the skills to move into the leadership positions. They are also vehicles for contesting. Organized vehicles for ascending to power. I am telling you, if you got a ragtag person just from nowhere capturing power, and because you want to remove Museveni from power, then you would probably push the country deep in the hole. So I believe that if the political parties are organized, the actors in there are on talking terms, then the country benefits.
Well, thank you, Doctor, for sharing with that. That was now my thing. I wanted to hear more from you about that, and you've done it very well. Now, let's go back to our menu. Yeah, this one was also part, but it was kind of a desire. Yes. Let's go into our menu. Which kind of Uganda do you really want to see, Doctor?
I think the people of my generation are kind of at crossroad. President Museveni came to power when I was about 4 years.
Okay.
Yes.
So he came in 1986.
Yes.
Okay.
I was about 4 years old. I think 4 years and about 3 months. Today, I'm a man. I have children, and I can assure you that if you close your eyes and you look back, it's a long journey.
Yeah, okay. So you're actually telling me that you were born 2 years after the 1980 general election.
Absolutely.
That brought in, Mr. Museveni going to the bush and so on.
And my father, I lost my father in 1985 when I was very, very young.
Yeah.
My father was attacked. He used to work at the customs, Malaba. And he was also an equally young man at the time, about 33 years old.
Oh, yes.
So whenever he left work, they used to gather, having been a UPC supporter, and they were with the Honorable Ongaria, who was in the Electoral Commission. I think the property used to belong to him, Roof Gardens. So whenever my father went there for meetings, then he would connect home, and one of the fateful days on his way, we lost him. So it's part of the sad history of this country. So if you talk about the Uganda I have to look back, probably from independence or even pre-independence, the events that have happened, what has been achieved so far in successive administrations, until the one we have of President Museveni. And then now we have to dream about going forward.
Going forward meaning after Museveni. Because time is coming when Museveni is no more. People don't want to hear that.
Yes.
But time is coming when he's no more.
Absolutely. It is the fact of nature. We are not permanent in this world.
Yeah.
And therefore, this brings us to always having it at the back of our mind that we should be conscious of the actions that we do on a daily basis. Because you need to ask yourself, what will I be remembered for? What will I be remembered for? That question is very important in whatever spaces that we are in.
One of our professors used to call it a legacy track.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
A legacy track is not for me, who has been living that legacy or that life. It is for people who have been following me, tracking my legacy. Yeah, very key.
So, while I am not active in UPC, but in my molding, I am a social democrat. Not by political party, but by ideology. I believe that governments exist with a purpose. A purpose to deliver services to the people, to do what we call social justice. Social justice. Now, social justice is broad, but it also involves economic justice. It involves issues to do with the rule of law. It involves inclusion, that majority of the people don't want to be, it doesn't have to appear that they have been left out of these processes and also in sharing of resources. And then we also believe that the transformation should be from the bottom to the top. Because you cannot dream about development when there's no base, socio-economic base on the ground upon which to build for you to have that transformation. And you know there is a saying that even if you are rich and then you are surrounded by poor people, you are never secure. The first thing you will do, you will construct your house, and then you see that you are not safe
enough.
You'll have to put a fence. Probably when you see the fence and you say, I'll put a fence, but the thieves can still climb. Then you'll go and look for barbed wires and you add. After some time, you'll say, but they are not enough. Let me buy dogs. Then you'll have the dogs. And with the dogs, still you may say, maybe they can still cut the barbed wires, maybe kill the dogs and come. And then you'll connect electricity on the boundaries. Because you want to become secure, you are now afraid of the majority poor.
And that is being analog in, someone thinking that is secure. What they do now, they become digital again. They buy cameras. And I think, because if you have bought cameras, you may not be able to be in the control room of your cameras. You need to get someone who will sit on the cameras to watch for you who is trying to sneak in.
Absolutely. Now, to begin here, one of the foundations to manage, you must have clear administrative units. And I think NRM tried to do decentralization. It was there before, but it was not as deepened as now. Before, around 1986, we had about 29 districts. In 1990, there they became 31. Today we have, 145. So you must have the country is big. You must segment it into viable administrative units. Now, when you have these viable administrative units, then you have the job descriptions for various administrative units. And if I have segmented to a gombolola, what's the role of a gombolola? If I have a district, what's the role of a district? Does it have the resources to run the affairs as a district? Then you have the constituencies where people are elected to represent the masses at the national level with proper job descriptions. Now, in terms of segmenting the country, at first, we were saying that some places were too deep, too remote to access services.
When you say we were saying, what do you mean? Because I want someone who is following us to really not get lost anywhere.
Okay, you know me in my submissions, I don't want to individualize the responsibility because decentralization was discussed at national level during this Constituent Assembly, where different counties sent delegates who came to make a constitution. And then after that, we have had successive parliaments and the process who have drafted the laws on the Local Government Act. How do you create a sub-county? How do you create a district? So while President Museveni may be a vision bearer, but he's not the executor of everything. So at that time, when I say we, I mean we Ugandans.
Oh, you are owning what some of those who represented us came up with.
Exactly.
And we
that's
still
why I'm trying to be a Ugandan, which I am.
I get you. Yes.
Exactly.
We.
So I am saying we said, yes, let's decentralize. Let's create deeper units. The reason was we are democratizing to have people participate in the affairs of their governance. It was a good thing. We said some districts are too far, too remote. Let's create units which can be accessible. If I'm a pensioner and I want my records to be updated, instead of coming to Kampala, I can go to my district and sort out my
and get the
issues.
service that I need.
Yes, and then we said, let's delegate health care, primary health care. If we have issues to do with an outbreak of something, diarrhea here, we have issues of sanitation, and let the local governments address that. Of course, with remittances from the central government, but also generating local revenues. Now, along the way, we lost focus. And we started creating units every day, every other day. One, to benefit those who are seeking for jobs in Parliament, for instance. There are those councillors who wanted to become chairman LOC 5, and therefore if I'm a councillor and I want to become an LOC 5, I want to create a district. Now, then it went on and went. Then those at the lowest level, they also started creating sub-counties. Now, before President Museveni came and his earlier years, there was what they used to call a model sub-county. If you went to my Bubutu Town Council now, which used to be the Bubutu sub-county, it used to have a cooperative society within. It used to have a youth social center to promote entertainment, innovation, also where youth gather and discuss matters of governance, of development, and so forth. It had a cattle dip with Supona dip. There people bring cows and dip in, and they see their cows are dipped and to kill the pests and things like that. We had a model fish pond to teach farmers about commercial farming. And then we had a court, we had a local administration police to ensure security, and many other service, and agriculture officer.
Did you have the teachers college or whether primary?
We had Butiru nearby, then we had Nyondo, not far from Butiru there, to serve the Bugisu. So, but as a sub-county, you would see that it was an epicenter of services. Today, when you go to our places there, what we call a sub-county is too small. You find a Gombola chief is given 2 million a quarter for administration and his work. You find a sub-county is in a uniport or a uniport or a shop. And that's where the Gombola chief, the sub-accountant, and the only activity taking on is everyone is just PDM. So other aspects are dead. When we recruit agriculture extension officers, you find that they don't have the tools. The agriculture extension office I saw when I was young had a government motorcycle inspecting farms. Today, agriculture officers, who in most cases buy jobs from the District Service Commission, stay in town. He's working at a sub-county in Namisindwa, but Gomba. He is renting, or call it Gomba, but he's renting in Kampala. He goes there when he has heard that there are visitors. So farmers become completely helpless. They keep on gambling, getting bad seeds. They don't know good farming methods. If you went to my Bugisu sub-region, because we are mountainous, the land fragmentation. People don't know how to overcome the challenges of land shortage and the fragmentation. So,
but here you have the agriculture, the extension officer who is staying in town. He cannot go down there to help the people.
Absolutely. They only meet when asking each other, salary come, is it being processed? So you find that you have agriculture officers who live in town. So at the end of the day, I think decentralization began losing track. It did not stop there. People who want to come to Parliament started agitating for the same. Constituencies were mutilated. Like today, the Greater Bubulo County where I come from, has produced 2 districts. One county, that is Manafa and Namisindwa. And then within them, each has 3 MPs, there are 6. But before, we used to have one Professor Timothy Wangusa representing the place. And that Timothy Wangusa would have time in Parliament to articulate issues for 10 minutes.
For Namisindwa people, Manafa people who were all under one
because
county.
Our challenges are common.
Yeah.
So now we have a crowd in Parliament. But where someone is given 1 minute, you're a legislator, member of Parliament, and you are making a submission for 2 minutes, what value are you going to add to the debate?
I always tell people, and they think I'm joking, like for me, I'm from Gomba. Gomba had 4 sub-counties, and that is Mpenja, Chegonza, Kabulasoke, and Maddu. And I tell people that I used just to walk from Maddu, where that is the west of Gomba, to Mpenja, the east of Gomba, in 3 hours. Just walking 3 hours. Right, and we, as you said, you only had 1 MP representing the entire Gomba county. But right now, we have 3 MPs because they divided Gomba into 2, Gomba West and Gomba East. And I'm asking, what are they doing? For what?
One, all this now has translated into increase in the cost of public administration.
You're still talking about your major point of management. We lost it there.
We have lost it. It is one of those things in the Uganda I want that we should review our decentralization. Because now you cannot run effectively local governments, what you call local governments, when you have nationalized, centralized the entire revenue collection function. Today, all the revenue collected at every level finds its way to the national coffers. Of course, the justification by government was that it harmonizes planning, that it reduces corruption. That one is still questionable. Because if I give a tender at a local government, I can still take my cut before I allow that person to deposit money to URA. Then 3, it delays implementation. There are basic things that could be settled at the local level, but you have to wait. And that is why usually in the 3rd quarter, 4th quarter of the year before the budget, you hear money has gone 5 days to the end of the financial year. So when that money is received, the financial year ends, and then you hear that the money has been returned to the consolidated fund. So it means that the annual plan the district had, the local government had,
in that financial year, they can't implement it.
Can't be achieved. So this is something we need to revisit, our decentralization. Look at the recruitment. We have studies here. The recruitment rate at most local governments is at less than 50%. Majority is 46%. There are jobs, but there are no people. Why? Because there are no resources. So if you don't have resources to finance a district structure, why do you have it? Then you will not even have the people to implement what you want to do. All this have crippled service delivery.
So, Doctor, what you're saying, that people are right to say that the decentralization policy of the government was actually, or is actually political. According to the way you have explained to us, people are right to think so.
Yes, I want to say that the original goals were very good. Because successful governments, be it China has a federal system, but under federal, they have their local governments. They have. The United States has the states plus local governments. So the federal government of Germany and so forth. So local governments work, okay? but they should be able to have the resources, the tools, the manpower. They should be viable units to be able to invest and also be able to generate local revenue from the investments they have created. But if they become beggars to the central government, that even when they have a plan of an area, they have to come and beg from the minister, then it devalues.
Exactly. Of course, we all know very well that beggar has no choice.
Absolutely. I have seen letters where chief administrative officers are writing letters begging the minister to give them probably 200 million to do a bridge. So we have 140-something districts. If a bridge collapses and we all write to beg, I think a district should be able to handle some of these major.
And those who are begging, actually, Doctor, I don't know if you have come across this, those who are actually begging, they even claim, we raised this money, we collected this money from the district, we brought it to you, please send to us some and we work on this road, or work on this feeder road, or we work on this district health center.
Yes.
So they are begging on what they have actually worked for, collected from the people, but as you said on top, they're not thinking about that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So for me, a Uganda I want a Uganda to have organized administrative units, viable units that are able to effectively serve the people of Uganda.
Wow.
Now, leaving that aside, if you say a Uganda, it is very broad, like I said in the beginning. Now we have the politics. The politics, I think government puts it under what they call governance and
leadership,
and I think rule of law, access to law, justice and access to rule of law. Now, there was a time when we said we need a functional court system, and indeed the government of President Museveni has increased the number of courts. If you go to the countryside, where we used to have one magistrate handling a very large area, there's access to courts of law. We have the police. They are now more in number. They have more facilities in terms of vehicles to move, fuel. They are well dressed, smarter compared to before. And then UPDF looks a resemblance of a modern force in this country or even in the world. But these institutions, governance institutions, exist to deliver services, not for cosmetic purposes. Today, the challenges now with the judiciary is perceived, one, injustice relating to taking too long, even with the available facilities, taking too long to handle even minor cases. You can have a case. I have a friend whose case has taken 5 years. It was a very small matter. 5 years. He's in the court, always going to Uganda Road Court. For the last, he's fed up. Something that either could have been mediated or even it would have been finalized. But recently I saw the lawyers in Masaka protesting because of absence of the judges and then the way issues of bail are being handled and so forth. We have had cases where judges and magistrates are fearing to preside over some cases, especially that are political in nature. And then sometimes the rulings, I'm sorry to use this word, they look very childish. And then sometimes, that destroys the access to justice that our government dreamed about achieving. So the case backlog has reduced with a very minor margin compared to the increase in resources. Even when the government gave tax-free to judicial officers, you remember when they wanted the salary increment, the president said, no, we can't add you salary, but let's exempt you from pay as you earn, so that you take home something better. So I would expect that to So we need to improve. I want a Uganda where I can have a matter in court and it is handled in a right time or reasonable time. I want a Uganda where I will not be afraid of seeking justice in the courts of law. Now, the police is very key in this, in access to justice. If you have been robbed, you go to police and report. Now, the first point where a case can be killed in a criminal matter is at the police station. Because it means when something happens here, the police must send a scene of crime officers who must cordon off the place, do investigations and secure the place and give a credible report. Now, those are the reports that are sent to the DPP for perusal. Before they say, let this matter go to court, there is enough evidence to take this guy to court. But majority of the police stations are now transactional areas like markets, where suspected criminals are negotiating to get out, and those who also took the cases there are frustrated, seeking to bribe such that their matter is quickened. So if you got these police stations, if you want to know, have a matter and you go to the police. There are those officers who will even call a person and say, you escape, after giving him very, very quickly the police bond. And they say he disappeared. So all of these things, I want a Uganda where justice can be strengthened. That the police is well facilitated to carry on its work without due influence.
Doctor, are you saying that we are not facilitating the police enough?
Now, we have been improving the salaries of the UPDF senior officers, beginning with senior officers, and then also the junior officers have been lifted to a private is about 600 or 700, but moving towards 1 million and something. But a police constable is still at around 500,000, 490. You see, so you see that the focus is on the military, not the police.
Yeah. Actually, Doctor, let's keep it right here in our first episode, because when you talk about the police, I want to give you more time, because I was moving with someone some time back on a motorcycle, and he saw a policeman and he said, I wish I can kill him right now. I can knock him and kill him right now. And I'm like, why? Don't talk about those people. So there is an image, as you're trying to show us, that these people in police are actually carrying, and it's not a good image. So we'll return with Dr. Gerald Werikhe Wanzala to air out more views on the kind of Uganda that he envisions. Let us keep it right here. We'll be right back, and I wish you a good time.